here in New York City, believe it or not. And we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. I didn't get a chance to talk about these things this weekend, so we got to hit it today. We're going to talk about the Austin shooting that happened over the weekend, the F-15 that was shot down in Kuwait, and we have to address this Iranian war that Donald Trump started. And I'll tell you this right off the bat, I agree with his decision. Welcome to the Officer Tatum Show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning things, you might as well go on today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. I want to start with the war in Iran. Can I just give my honest opinion about this? People are jumping off the cliff, mad at Donald Trump. Let me just say this. For those of us who voted for Donald Trump, those of us who understand that he's a different president than everybody else, it's almost like the adult in the room. It's almost like the person that can be bought and paid for is actually doing his job that all these other presidents should have been doing a long doggone time ago. You know, all these endless wars, I believe it was a choice. They engaged in these endless wars. They put us in a perpetual situation where we have troops, boots on the ground. And in my opinion, it was nefarious. They're just doing it to make money, amongst other nefarious things that they were doing. But Donald Trump, in my opinion, don't have a vested interest in or need to build wealth or kiss nobody's butt. All Donald Trump is doing is saying, look, I'm going to do what's right for America, America's interest, and I'm going to liberate people all over the world if it's necessary. And I think that's exactly what he's doing in Iran. I don't believe that this is a fair war, meaning that I don't think there's nothing that America has to worry about in an existential way. I think we're going to sweep these fools under the rug, just give it a little bit of time, and we'll see that come to fruition. But for everybody that's out here crying, talking about we're going to get into another war and Donald Trump is a warmonger, he lied to his base and all that stupid stuff, quit being stupid. That's all I got to say. Quit being stupid. Because Donald Trump has said for 10 plus years that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. That's agreed upon in America. That's agreed upon in Israel. That's agreed upon in the UAE. That's agreed upon in the UK. And every major country on every major continent, especially allies of the United States of America, are congruent in their thought process and belief system that Iran cannot get a nuclear weapon because they're pieces of crap, killing their own citizens and all of the above. But I don't want to get on my soapbox right now. I want to get to a couple clips that we have. Let's play the clip 101 of Donald Trump announcing, I guess, giving context to the Iranian war. Roll the clip.
Over the past 36 hours, the United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest, most complex, most overwhelming military offensives the world has ever seen. Nobody's seen anything like it. We have hit hundreds of targets in Iran, including Revolutionary Guard facilities, Iranian air defense systems. Just now it was announced that we knocked out 9 ships plus their naval building, all in a matter of literally minutes. Iran's formerly supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead. This wretched and vile man had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands and was responsible for the slaughter of countless thousands of innocent people all across many countries. Last night, all over Iran, the voices of the Iranian people could be heard cheering and celebrating in the streets when his death was announced. The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands. Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. We have very strong objectives. They could have done something 2 weeks ago, but they just couldn't get there. Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action. As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case. But America will avenge their deaths and deliver the most punishing blow to the terrorists who have waged war against basically civilization. They have waged war against civilization itself. Our resolve, and likewise that of Israel, has never been stronger. America is now, again, the richest, most powerful nation in the world by far. But the only reason we enjoy the quality of life that we do and the freedom and security is we have done things that others are unable to do. But it's because of warriors who are willing to lay down their lives to do battle with our enemies. And they do battle better than anybody. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be a dire threat to every American. We cannot allow a nation that raises terrorist armies to possess such weapons, would allow them to extort the world to their evil will. Not going to let it happen. We're not happening to us, and we're not going to let it happen to others.
All right, I think that's the end of the clip. So as you can see, you hear a little bit of what Donald Trump is saying. Yeah, in a perfect world, I would love for Donald Trump to be more articulate. I would love for him to be more professional, straight line, right? I mean, he's talking at the greatest ever to exist. We're doing a good job. We're doing a good job. It's a good job that we're doing. I'm like, I wish it was cleaner. However, I don't give a F. As long as you're getting the job done, that's what I care about more. So I'm trying to balance what the naysayers say in the perspective there. But at the end of the day, are you getting the job done or you're not getting the job done? And I want to address the death of soldiers, because there are some people in our country that believe that no soldiers should lose their lives in war. Now, unnecessary war is something that it's intolerable, right? If somebody losing their life in a war that we should have never been in, that is where I draw the line. However, when you put on the uniform and you sign up, it's not that you are somehow absolved of losing your life to protect the freedoms of citizens moving forward as the people that came before you. Do you know how many people that put that uniform on that died so we could have freedoms in this country, some of which were wars that I'm sure they didn't agree with? And now we have a similar thing. This war against Iran and these terrorists who present an existential threat to the United States of America and our existence moving forward, we have to do something. We have to put our necks out there. We have to do something. And as a country, we should celebrate and support those who are putting their lives on the line. But people will lose their lives in war. I wish that no soldier would ever have to die fighting for this country, but that's not a reality. And unfortunately, some people are going to have to die so we can have freedom. That's just the way it is. And if you're a citizen and you haven't put your neck on the line, at least you can do is support those who do. All right, let's get to another. It's a little bit of some B-roll, I believe we have, of Iranian protesters celebrating Donald Trump. Let's roll that clip real quick. This is just a short clip. I don't know if we have sound or not, but here's a clip of some people, Iranians, who were celebrating the death of, I don't know, you call him the Ayatollah. So this is my perspective here. If this were Gazans celebrating, you'll have some of these nut job Republicans or conservatives and some of the people on the left literally crying in the middle of the street, thanking God that they're liberated. But it's crazy that when Iranians are liberated, it's almost like people are upset about it. It's these same dusty, stew-head conservatives. I know the left is nutty, but the conservatives who are complaining about what happened in Iran, it's just bizarre to me. And y'all know exactly who they are. You see their clips on social media. It's just completely stupid to me. They said nothing when it's over here, but then and let me tell you the reason why they don't complain about it or why they're upset about us in Iran. It's because they hate Jews. They hate Israel. That's all it comes down to. All of the nutty people that you see online giving bad takes is because they hate Israel. And their hatred towards Israel make them nutty in everything else they do in life. I'm telling you, it's the same characters where you look out and you go, who would be mad at us liberating Iranians and getting rid of a terrorist? Who would be mad at that? Oh, the people that hate Jews, because they feel like that it has something to do with benefiting Israel to a certain degree, and so they hate it. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Us, preventing Iran from having nuclear weapons is beneficial to the United States of America and all of our allies. But they think it's just Israel. It's not just Israel. Every other sane country in the Middle East hates Iran, and they hate what they're doing, and they are a threat to every peaceful nation across the world. And it's only a matter of time when they bomb and kill people in the Middle East that they're going to try to make themselves or avail themselves moving west. All right, let's get to another gentleman that was supportive of Trump. I think he was on the news, clip 103.
What is your message to President Trump?
My message to President Trump is that I'm here to echo and join millions of my compatriots inside and outside of Iran to thank him for having done and having the courage to do what is not easy, but intervene. And he will go down in the annals of Iranian history as the most celebrated foreign leader that changed the ball game and changed the world as a result.
In January, President Trump said this about you, quote, "He seems very nice, but I don't know how he'd play within his own country. I don't know whether or not his country would accept his leadership. And certainly if they would, that would be fine with me." You don't seem to have President Trump's wholehearted support.
Well, first of all, I don't think that somebody in my position will ever.
Do you see these mother freaking people irritate the socks off me? Just him reading his own quote does not appear whatsoever to be Donald Trump's lack of endorsement of this man's position. It's not. They're always trying to make something out of nothing. It bothers me. It's like the man cannot win. If he does something, if he can cure cancer, and they're going to find a reason why the way he cured cancer is wrong for somebody. Why do they always do this? It creates confusion and frustration that never needs to exist, and it's perpetuated. I promise you, if Donald Trump would get fair press, he would be the most celebrated and the most popular president with the highest approval rating out of any president to ever live in our modern lifetime, for sure. He would have the best ratings because they constantly, no matter what he do, they lie, they you game the system. They're on television all day long talking about why our strikes in Iran was bad. And if Joe Biden was in office or Kamala Nepad Harris was in office, then they would be kissing her butt and saying everything she do is right, even if it was wrong. They wouldn't spend 30 seconds on Joe Biden's withdrawal from Afghanistan. 30 seconds. They won't even mention it. They won't talk about it. That was the biggest blunder in American military history, almost, the way we left Afghanistan. But they don't talk about it. You'll never see an interview like this about it. Let him finish.
Expect to have an official endorsement of a foreign government or a foreign leader. What I do know now is that millions of Iranians inside Iran and outside of Iran are calling my name. They recognize in me the person uniquely placed to play a role of transitional leadership. Not running for office, because that's not what I'm doing, but to be a bridge to that destiny.
I love what he had to say. Here goes some Democrats torching other Dems on CNN. Roll the clip.
I think that it is imperative the Democratic Party wake up and get past their dislike of Donald Trump, the President Trump, and their feelings of international conflicts going on. This is about national security. This is about what is possible in the Middle East. This is about being a good neighbor, good partner to the Gulf states and what their aspirations are. This is about supporting the people of Venezuela. This is about dismembering our relationship with, or not dismembering, but resetting our relationship with China. Right now, 55% of the oil production that Iran produces goes to China despite sanctions. You want to support the people of Ukraine. You want to end that war. You have to. There is no getting around dismembering this Islamic Republic. It is non-negotiable. It is not a want to have. It is a have to have. And it's not just for the Iranian people. I think you have to trust the Iranian people. We know this government better than anyone else. When you dismember and decapitate this regime, you are going to see a change in the Middle East, in Venezuela, in China, in Ukraine. And I think, quite frankly, their ideology has it's caused a lot of problems for us worldwide. We need to take it seriously. And I think at this point, we have a tremendous opportunity. This will be like ending the Soviet Union, the Berlin Wall. This is a transformational moment for humankind, for security. And as an American, this is in our interest to complete it. So I am a Democrat. I have been a huge Democrat. I am incredibly disappointed with my party. I do not see myself in them in this moment.
Good. Who is this? I want to interview this person. We can go and find out who this woman is, because what she said encapsulates almost everything that I think about this entire situation. Like, people are looking at Iran as if it's a war against Iran instead of the liberation of the people. Same thing in Venezuela. Oh, we don't have the right to go in there. It's the liberation of Venezuelan people from the fake governments. And then we get a benefit. We'll get that oil and we'll run it up. Because if we don't get the oil and run it up, Russia gonna get the oil, or China's gonna get the oil, and they gonna run it up. And you clowns in America are gonna be crying about why our country is at the bottom of the totem pole. I don't get it, but I like that lady. Y'all, my staff can hear me. I want to find who she is, and I want to interview her, because it's interesting to hear a person who's a Democrat that's saying that. And it's not that I like to listen to her because she's disagreeing with Democrats and I'm a Republican. It's that she's articulating something that makes incredible sense. And I can't imagine anybody disagreeing with her. Marco Rubio, our future president, I want y'all to hear what he had to say about the Iranian strikes. Clip 105, roll the clip.
But if what they want is a secret program buried in the mountain where no one can see it and inspectors can only come when they say they can come, if that's what they want, then they're going to have big problems, because this is a dangerous, violent, radical regime. Not the Iranian people. We have no problem. We didn't hit Iranian people last night. We hit nuclear facilities. And if what they want is some secret program that looks nothing like the civil nuclear programs around the world, it looks a lot like you're trying to build a bomb, they're going to continue to have problems, not just with us, but with many other countries in the world.
Problems like what? What do you mean?
Like the problems they're facing right now. Listen, why do we have bases in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait and Qatar and UAE? All of those bases are there to help protect those countries from Iran. Why did Hezbollah exist? Because of Iran. What does Hamas exist? Because of Iran. How do the Houthis exist? Because of Iran. Who built the IEDs that maimed and killed American soldiers in Iraq? Iran. They're behind every problem in this region. They are the sole source of instability in the entire Middle East, and the world's been paying a price for this for 40-something years. Imagine those people having a nuclear weapon, just one nuclear weapon, or even the capability to being on the threshold of having a nuclear weapon. That's what the world was facing. That is unacceptable. President Trump did the world a favor last night, and now Iran should sort of wake up, the Iranian regime should wake up and say, okay, if we really want nuclear energy in our country, there's a way to do it. That offer's still there. We're prepared to talk to them tomorrow and start working on that. Steve Witkoff has traveled extensively around the world trying to reach that deal with them, but they play too many games. They play way too many games, and now they found out.
Hey, bro, I'm going to vote for you, bro. I'm going to vote for him, man. I like what he just said right there. They effed around and found out. I don't know how people in America has become so weak and wussified. This is the way we do things around the world. If you're not going to do what we ask you to do, we're going to kill people. I don't understand how we're lost on that. This is not a game. This is not a video game, bro. This is not you're not playing Fortnite. This is real deal stuff. If you can't listen to what America is telling you to do, we're going to make you find out. It's not that hard. And in the world that we live in, of course, I don't want any violence. I don't want people to have to lose their lives. I don't want Soleimani and all these people to die. But you decide to die. We didn't decide to kill. You decided you wanted to die. If you want to participate and do what's right, we'll let you live in peace and harmony. But if you're a threat to the United States of America and our people and our way of life, we will kill you. What are we saying here? If you're lucky in Venezuela that we decided to escort you out while all of your troops are throwing up and dying next to you, you're lucky that we gave you that opportunity. We have created a wussified nation where people think we supposed to rub the backs of these foreign terrorists and hope that they do the right thing. That's not the parenting style that we are operating under. We whoop your butt in this environment. If you don't act right, you get a whooping. We're not going to talk to you 100 times and give you timeouts. You're going to get a whooping. All right. Let's get to Scott Jennings because he's one of my favorite people online. Scott Jennings, we have 2 clips from Scott Jennings. Roll the first one, 106.
It is going to have some impact on the economy of China because that's where they get their oil from Iran. And what we did in Venezuela, what we did in China, or what we did in Iran has as much to do with China, I think, as anything. I also want to say, may God rest the souls of those troops. But they died in a noble cause. And as Buddy said, 47 years, Americans are dead, the largest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. I totally disagree with you about the threat not being imminent. I spoke to very senior administration officials yesterday. They believe that the Iranian regime was about to fire ballistic missiles, not at the United States, but into U.S. military bases and civilian targets. They were going to attack Israel. They are already attacking other Gulf states.
You can't make the case back then. Apparatus has assessed that there was not an imminent threat.
I know. My guess is I've spoken to higher-ranking officials than you. On the uranium enrichment, the United States offered them free, unlimited, lifetime, civilian-grade nuclear fuel. They said no. They had given us the runaround about their intentions on enriching uranium for military purposes. How long do you want to wait? Death to America? Death to Israel? How long do you want to wait? We waited 47 years. We have crossed every red line. Every president says they want to do something about it. Only Donald Trump had the guts to do it. You said you're not shedding any tears for the regime, but you appear just not to like Donald Trump enough to be mad about it. This is a good thing.
He's the guy who's going to bring peace and not start wars.
Yeah, and he is bringing peace. Iran has been at war with us for 47 years. The central pillar of the regime is death to America. The other pillar is death to Israel, who is our ally. They have been at war with us. They have been killing American personnel and American soldiers for nearly 5 decades. This is not an attempt to start a war. This is an attempt to prevent further conflict. This is an attempt to get the largest state sponsor of terror off the field. This is an attempt to stabilize the Middle East. I don't view this, Ashley, as starting a war as much as ending the people who are the preeminent terror threat in the world. They're at war with everybody. They're at war with us, and they're at war with Western civilization.
This is a serious question because we have seen regimes.
When I look at that wig and that weave piece, I know she's gonna say something stupid. See, y'all got to understand that weave and all that perm is messing with your brain. Because ain't no way, just every time she talk is something nonsensical. I'm gonna let her play, but how can you deny what Scott Jennings just said? Like, this is why I'm a conservative and I'm a Republican. Because when I listen to what these people say over on this side, on the left, it doesn't make any sense. It's just, I hate Trump and I'm going to regurgitate talking points to say that he's a bad person. Then when I listen to Scott Jennings articulate very clearly why we're going after Iran, there's evidence that he's presenting, there's precedent that he's presenting, and it's very clear across the world that all nations that are reasonable agree and are in conjunction with America as we attack Iran. You don't see any major nation out here disagreeing with the strikes against Iran, do you? The president of UK just came out yesterday and said we're in lockstep. The UAE is in lockstep. Israel is in lockstep. What nation out there that's an ally of the United States of America that's coming out saying that they disagree with what Donald Trump did? No, they're not. They got their planes in the sky and they're participating. But these nut jobs had to say something bad about Trump. Let the wig piece talk. Roll the clip.
Fall and countries not be stabilized. And so what's next?
Well, gosh, I don't know. I mean, what if we leave a country that for the next 47 years kills Americans, kills American personnel, funds terror around the world? That's what we have now. That's what we couldn't have it any worse now. What comes next?
We couldn't.
We actually don't know.
We don't know, actually.
That the Iranian people rise up and take control of their country.
We don't know.
Absolutely. It is up to the Iranian people to make that decision.
Yeah, these people, it's fun. It's just so funny. The optimism when Donald Trump is not involved in the same conflict. If this was a Democrat in office and they did the same thing Trump did, they would be literally, you would see them on TV crying. He's the greatest president. I swear to God, the same scenario with a different person will cause them to have a different reaction. Here's another clip from Scott Jennings, then we're going to get on to the F-15 being shot down. We're going to skip over the F-15. We're going to jump to Austin shooting after this next Scott Jennings clip. And then I'm going to get to a couple other things, and we'll come back around to the F-15 shot down. I'll just tell you right now, it appears that I think one of the soldiers that was flying the plane that was shot down survived. They got video of him in the back of some car that they rescued him because he parachuted out. So I'll just give you some context there. Here's another Scott Jennings clip. Thank God for Scott Jennings. This dude is like, I don't know what the award is for journalists. Is it Pulitzer Award or whatever they call it? I can't remember the name. But he should win that award. This dude is the most consequential journalist to ever live, in my opinion. Wrote a clip.
Congressman Thomas Massie also writing, "This is not America first." Do they have a point?
No, they don't have a point, and I don't consider them to be actual Republicans, and I don't consider them to be part of the America First or MAGA movement, to be honest with you. They are basically allied against Donald Trump on everything, whether it's foreign affairs or domestic policy. They've just become political enemies of the President of the United States, no matter what he does. And that's unfortunate, but she quit, and he's about to lose in a primary in Kentucky. So that'll be the end of that. If I may, you mentioned what's the justification, and I think it's a fair question. And Karen raised some questions that need to be answered, and I'm sure they will answer them. But look, over 47 years, hundreds of American troops have been killed by the Iranian regime and its proxies. And I talked to senior administration, very senior administration officials today. They had intelligence that the regime was going to fire missiles into U.S. military and civilian targets. They were still enriching uranium. They would not give up on that. We had a lot of justification to do this. They tried diplomacy. Iran wouldn't do it. The president acted to save American lives. That was the justification.
We need to have their rebuttal next time, because I don't know what could be said against what Scott Jennings just presented. There's nothing there. All right, let's get to I want to get to another story, the Austin shooting, where this terrorist jihadist decided to shoot people at this club in Austin on 4th Street. I think it's 4th Avenue, 4th Street. I was just walking on that street. Not like last, well, not last, it was last year, but not a year ago. We're going to a UFC fight. We were walking down the street. I didn't realize how dangerous it is being in Austin. But look at this nut job. Let me just say this real quick. And I don't know how anybody would disagree with me unless you are completely stupid. We need to stop letting immigrants into our country who do not assimilate. If you don't want to be a part of the American experiment, get your nasty out of our country. It's not even that hard. I hate having these ignorant, stupid, disloyal people in our country as immigrants. Now, if you're an American citizen, we got to deal with you. It's just like if your mama's stupid, it's your mama. She gonna unbe your mama. So when you're a citizen and we got stupid people that are citizens in this country, we just got to deal with them. They crazy family members. We just got to deal with them, love on them, pray for them. But when you ain't even supposed to be here, when you wasn't even born on this soil, your father and your mother did not fight in any war to establish the United States of America. We have no interest or no obligation to have you here. Keep your dirty self over there in that country that you claim you want to be a part of. You should not be in America talking about Allah Akbar. You go Allah Akbar in Iran. Or wherever he's from, Senegal. I don't know where these people are from. They from some foreign country. Why don't you stay over there? If you want to be loyal to the ideology of stay over there. We should have never let these people in our country. If you want to come to America, like we've done over the last several centuries, come over to America and assimilate. Be a part of the American dream. I'm in New York right now. There's so many stories of immigrants who came to New York who've helped build New York and build this country. What did they do when they get here? They came here and assimilated. They came here and believed in the American dream. They came here with $3 in their pocket and they worked hard and did the right thing and did not commit crimes. But you got these idiots out here. They letting over here because they feel sorry for them, I guess. And then they end up shooting people. Here's the first video clip 203.
Oh my God! What is going on? Jesus Christ!
Why do kids sound like Dylan? Anyway, I know everybody laughing at the studio. All right, so that's just a clip of some of the initial shooting somebody captured on camera. Let's go to clip 201. Roll it.
The FBI is investigating a possible terror attack in Austin. A gunman killed 2 people, and then police shot and killed the suspect. Later, officials searched his home, finding an Iranian flag and pictures of Iranian leaders. Online records show the suspect once lived in San Antonio. Jason Allen is in Austin with the latest.
Where is it?
Video shows people taking cover inside a bar as a gunman fired shots toward them from the window of an SUV. Then, police said he parked and got out with a rifle and started firing again. Within less than a minute, 3 police officers patrolling the busy entertainment district shot and killed the gunman. Paramedics immediately started trying to save the lives of the 19 people shot. 2 of them died. 3 more were in critical condition. Sources identified the shooter to CBS News as Ndiaga Diagne, a naturalized U.S. citizen originally from Senegal.
There were indicators that on the subject and in his vehicle that indicate potential nexus to terrorism.
The gunman was wearing a sweatshirt that said "Property of Allah" and had a Quran in his vehicle. Investigators searching his home north of Austin found an Iranian flag and pictures of Iranian leaders, according to officials close to the investigation.
This is what keeps the intelligence community up at night. Not people directly associated with terrorist groups, but people who become inspired because of things that are happening in the world.
Yes, people who are Muslim, and not all of them, but stop letting these people come to our country. How about we get more Christians into the country? Let's go find Christians that is being persecuted in Nigeria and other places. If we want to have immigrants, let's bring in the Christians, because it will show me so many Christians that are doing this stuff. I'm just saying, maybe we could bring more Jewish people in it. Show me some Jews that are doing this stuff. I'll wait. It's that people that are a part of Islam, not all, but they are susceptible to indoctrination and terroristic theology. It's just a fact, because post nightclub shooting, you get this shooting, and then that's on another subject. Then you have the people who are transgender, who are struggling with mental illness, and they're pumping them with drugs and all kind of other stuff that make them crazed out of their mind, and then they're going to shoot and killing people. Charlie Kirk was assassinated by a person who was trans adjacent, dating and sleeping with a trans person, and he get all inspired to hate Charlie Kirk for no reason, because Charlie didn't have a problem with trans people. There's a ton. You guys may not like to hear this, but there's a ton of LGBTQ people that work for Turning Point. Some of their top people are openly gay. That's because when you're talking about business, when you're speaking about mission based, that stuff don't matter. Nobody cares who you're in love with, as long as you're a good person, you're doing the right thing. Nobody cares. Now, when it comes to the Bible, that's a different story. But when it comes to working in a nonprofit, nobody care. Even Republicans don't care. What's his name? Scott Pressler. He is beloved in the Republican Party. Gay as a snake. What's the other guy? who worked for Donald Trump. I forget his name. He worked closely with Donald Trump, gay as a snake. You go down the list, it's a whole bunch of gay people. And for some reason, it's framed that the Republican Party hates LGBTQ. It's just stupid, man. We just don't like people that are mean-spirited and try to force you to believe in the stuff they believe in. Let's go to clip 202, another news clip of the shooting. Roll it.
Check it out. The suspect is on the left side of the screen. Police approach him from the right. Several shots are fired, and within seconds, the shooter is down. We're now hearing from the UT student who recorded this video. Nathan Como, a senior at UT Austin, was on 6th Street celebrating a friend's 21st birthday at Buford's, and he says the place was packed, shoulder to shoulder with UT students. He says just minutes before the shooting began, he walked across the street to grab a slice of pizza and didn't realize a shooting was happening until the suspect's second round of gunfire.
With the second round, he was walking towards me. He was walking back towards Buford's. So I'm really grateful the police got there in time. I mean, I was sitting there like a sitting duck eating my pizza. I didn't know he was coming. It could have been really bad for me and for hundreds of people holed up in Buford. So.
Como says one of his friends was among the injured in the attack. He says they were sent to the hospital and released early this morning.
Now, let me just add this. Shout out to the police officers who are brave and went into the firefight and took care of business like they're supposed to. This is why you have good people with guns. Because when the nut job starts shooting innocent people, then you have good people that put them down like rabid dogs. This is the way it's supposed to be. This is why you don't defund the police. This is why you fund the police. It's why you give them better training, have more law enforcement officers in situations like this, so that a person with an AR-15, and I don't want to say only because anybody that dies is a tragedy, but only two people, it could have been way more. He shot 17, 2 people died. That could have been catastrophic. I think he attempted to make it catastrophic. Thank goodness he couldn't shoot, and he's an idiot, and I hope he's burning in hell right now. And if I could, I'd go and pee on his grave, but I don't live in Austin. So I want to talk about a few other things while we have a little bit of time. How much time we have left? We got 10 minutes left. I want to go through, maybe I could hit this one story because it kind of bothered me. Those of you who know who, I'm gonna skip Nipsey Hussle because some of y'all probably don't know who Nipsey Hussle is unless you in the rap game. But Nipsey Hussle, I'll just briefly talk about this, and I want to get to the Megan Good part, or Renee Good, not Megan Good. Megan Good is, anyway. Nipsey Hussle was a rapper, and this is the epitome of what's wrong with the black community. Matter of fact, let's do the Nipsey Hussle thing real quick. This is my problem with the black community. Nipsey Hussle was a gang-banging rapper, but he made an attempt to do well in Slauson, in the hood in L.A. He started a little school, like an education center, to teach young kids in the hood how to learn a trade, how to be proficient online and doing stuff with computers and technology. And he had a store there, a merch store, where he would have people who would get out of prison. He'll try to give them a second chance, let them work at the store. And what happened to that brother? Not a white man, not a white supremacist, not a Ku Klux Klan member, not a police officer, but another brother in the same gang decided to kill Nipsey Hussle right in front of his store in broad daylight and shot him to death and kicked him while he was down. So Nipsey Hussle, who I would argue was a legend in LA, he has a brother there who built a burger joint. And this should be celebratory. They created a street section after Nipsey Hussle. The city did. They should be celebrating. His brother launched a burger joint called Marathon Burgers. They should be celebrating. But instead of them celebrating, this is what happened. Roll the clip.
Now to developing news in Long Beach, where one person is dead and 2 others are injured after gunfire disrupts the grand opening of a restaurant founded by the family of late rapper Nipsey Hussle. The opening ceremony was attended by the Long Beach mayor, Rex Richardson. Rapper Snoop Dogg was there.
And tonight, law enforcement remains on the scene there as a search for a suspect. KTLA's Rachel Benetoff is live in Long Beach with the latest developments tonight. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Karine. Hi, Rick. Yes, the circumstances surrounding the shooting, a motive or information about a suspect or suspects isn't known right now. What we can see is this large police presence in the heart of downtown Long Beach at Pine and Broadway. We're right near the convention center. A lot of people out and about tonight. And as you mentioned, this was supposed to be a day of celebration, the opening of a brand new restaurant, and instead it ended in gunfire. One person is dead, 2 others are injured after a daytime shooting in downtown Long Beach. It happened around 3:30 Sunday afternoon near the late rapper Nipsey Hussle's Marathon Burger restaurant around the time of its grand opening at a new location on West Pine.
We're here at Marathon Burger here in the city of Long Beach.
Long Beach Mayor Rex Richardson posted the celebratory ribbon cutting to his Instagram account. Long lines of people gathered outside to watch. Snoop Dogg, a financial partner in the fast food chain, was also there. He's been influential in bringing the eatery to Long Beach, now its 3rd location. Not too long after this, and about a half a mile away, witnesses say shots rang out.
Shots are being fired right now. More people are running about 10, 15 seconds later. The whole wave of people that ran down there ran all the way back. It was literally chaos for like 10, 15 seconds. I ducked behind one of the little boards that you take photos on right there.
3 people in total were taken to the hospital. That's where 1 person died. 2 others are apparently in stable condition. A spokesperson for Marathon Burger says the shooting wasn't connected to the event and the opening proceeded safely and without issue.
You would hope that this would actually bring the community.
All right, I got to run. We ran out of time. I got about 5 minutes. But the purpose of this is just to articulate very clearly that there needs to be some change in the inner city community, because they say, yeah, it wasn't connected. Now, what are the odds of you get that many black people in one spot? It's got to be violence. Why is that? And then you listen to naysayers and political pundits and political leaders, and they blaming the white people. I'm telling you right now, as a black man in America, grew up in an all-black neighborhood, the biggest threat to black people are other black people. I ain't never in my life growing up, walking down the street, thought a white man was going to do something to me. It was always other black people. You're killing your own people. You're destroying your own community. Cut the crap. I'm so sick of it. And this story is just an exemplification of it. However, I appreciate you guys watching the show today. For the members, we're going to do a members only section. Again, we're going to build out our membership program, and it's going to be the best membership program on YouTube. And this is just the start of it. We're going to have some different giveaways and different things like that. We're going to give away memberships. We're going to do it all. It's going to be incredible. I'm excited about it. But in about 3 minutes or so, we're going to have the members only chat. It's called a post-show clarity. So after the show, I give my commentary on certain things that I don't necessarily have time to talk about on the show. Some things are personal. I think today I might give some insight on why I'm in New York and kind of what we're doing here, and some other stuff that I didn't get a chance to get to. But hey, I appreciate you guys for watching. I want you to make sure you guys go and support us online. Go to Verdict Bourbon, best bourbon on market. We just had a crazy event, and people was just all over the bourbon. I mean, we had it at a couple bars that was at a fundraising event, and every single person said it was either the best bourbon they ever had, or it's one of their favorite bourbons, their new favorite. I literally had a lady, her name is Randy. We did a giveaway. She was etching the glass. Her and her husband etched the glass that helped in the giveaway with Verdict and the cancers. And she said, "This is the best bourbon I've ever had in my life." Like, so when people are saying that, it just reiterates that we're on to something good. We're having our drink in our first restaurant, Belmont, and we're going to celebrate that on Friday. And so Belmont has a special cocktail that they're going to make for the Officer Tatum. I don't know what we're going to name it. We don't really want it to be political because it's not really about politics. So I'll let you guys know if you're in Phoenix, Arizona, you need to go to Belmont and give it a try. And so how much time I got? 2 minutes left? Okay. I'll give you guys some other updates before we close here. And join the membership. It's a good way to support the channel. It's a good way to be a part of something a little more than just consuming and watching the content and reactionary content. Synergy. I want to let you guys know, if you're looking for energy drink, I drink this every day. And I drink the night drink. I don't get to do the night drink every day. I should, because I'm not consistent, but I drank it last night and it gave me incredible energy. So if you're looking for quality energy and you're looking for quality sleep, synergylife.com, synergylife.com, you can scan the QR code, look at the reviews. Don't believe me. And if somehow you get Synergy and it doesn't work for you, we'll give you 100% refund. We'll give your money back. That's how confident we are in Synergy. And also Blackline Security. Thank you guys for supporting. Go to Blackline Guardian Fund to support influencers and others who cannot afford security. And so we have a nonprofit set up that we can raise money and we can help them. We've helped people all over the country. Nick Shirley, we've helped. I go down the list. I don't want to give everybody. Savannah. I mean, all of the influencers that are going out doing the Lord's work but need security and can't afford it. We support them 100% at the Blackline Guardian Fund. So go to Blackline Guardian Fund, hit the QR code right over here in the corner, and donate whatever God has put on your heart. And just know you're doing a good cause and helping people out. So I love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's get over to the, we got about 30 seconds. Let's get over to the members only section. I'll be back in just a minute.